It's time for Sunrise with the Sleepy Boys.
Forgive us, Father, for we are about to sin and be very naughty boys.
Nope, that was it. All right. This one is entitled. Oh, I'm sorry. I have three. This one is entitled. Am I the asshole for suing my ex and her boyfriend?
Oh.
Whose phone is fucking going
Keith,
off?
turn off the vibrate.
Oh, sorry guys. That's the I am okay with that now, Doug.
Oh God, don't say that. Sorry. Bailey's sending me stuff over Instagram. That's why. So it's going off.
Do you need to go take care of your wife?
No. She just sends me random.
No.
She sends me random stuff over Facebook.
Look,
It's cute.
hey,
And
Oh, that's cute, Doug.
You can,
God
yeah,
damn it, Jeff.
absolutely. Hey, we're not saying that she can't send you things. Just turn off the fucking vibrate. We get you like that it's like buzzing up against your taint. But come on, man.
fucking Brandon, dude. It's off.
All right. So
That's not all that got off.
Did
Hey-o.
anybody else used to do that with their cell phones? Is just set a whole bunch of alarms and then hold their cell phone against their dick?
No.
No,
Everyone
I never
when
was
the
with somebody
Nintendo
that was
64
into
got
that.
a
Never
Rumble
once.
pack.
I heard 3 different things just then. I don't know what anybody just said.
I was saying nope, never been with somebody that insisted that I message them 8 times in a row
And-
so that would happen.
And Jeff
Oh.
said that he used the N64
Rumble
pack.
You guys are telling me the first time you had a Rumble pack, you didn't just put it on your balls while someone shot you in GoldenEye?
Fucking look at me with money having enough for a fucking Rumble pack. I
Man,
barely had an
didn't even-
N64.
I didn't.
Did
I
you never
didn't
have
even,
sleepovers?
I didn't need some. I didn't even need somebody involved in it. I would just play Star Fox a ton and just rest it right there.
Oh, look at Jeff with his friends as a child. God damn.
I did have some back then. Anyway, all right. So this goes. My ex and I divorced 3 years ago. She was cheating, but at this point, I don't care about the relationship anymore. The pending
Yeah,
lawsuit
sure
has
sounds
nothing
like
to do
it.
with her or him, but rather their actions. My ex and I have a son, 13-year-old male, that we split time with 50-50. He's a great kid that whose interests have changed a lot, to be honest, as I imagine more kids, teenagers tend to do throughout the years. Excuse me. One thing my son was heavily into at some point was Legos. Mark, shows this one for you. He
Yay.
used to play with
As
them all
someone
the
who
time.
used to work at the Lego store, Mark.
Yeah, because I
He
don't
used to
play with
play with
my
them.
nephew's fucking 2 big-ass trash cans full of Legos.
Right? He used to play with them all the time, and personally, I think they're a great toy for for a couple of different reasons. I used to love playing with them with him, and to this day, I still collect boxes that I leave unopened as a collection. Well, when my ex and I divorced, she got with someone who loved Legos more, I guess. From what I know, he loves making creations and building the sets in. I don't care. Seems cool. He does one thing I think is very, very weird. He uses crazy glue so the sets can't break and pieces can't be lost.
I'm
Smart.
just imagining this
I don't
guy
know,
is
it
just
seems
Will
weird to me.
Ferrell at the end of the Lego movie.
It's the Craggle, y'all.
Oh,
The issue is I was out of town for all of 3 days last week for medical reasons, and my son wanted to get his PS4 so he could play it at his mom's. This isn't out of the ordinary at all, and he has a key, so he let me know he'd be stopping over for it. I told him to have fun, and when I saw him on the entry camera, my wife's husband was with him, however, which is a no-no. I told him via speaker to not go in and to wait on the porch. He flinched, but walked in anyway. I sent an ex by text telling her to call him and that he's 1 minute away from a cop call. He left my home with a bag in hand, which I didn't think much of because honestly my son has his games too. Well, my son texted me later that evening and said he didn't know it at the time, but he's pretty sure stepdad took some of my sets. These are old
no.
sets.
No.
2 are worth big money. When I got home, I confirmed the missing sets and I called my ex. She had no idea, but he admired them. She had no idea, but he admitted, I'm sorry, he took them. But it was so my son could have the sets to complete his collection. My son doesn't even like Legos. All right, sorry, this guy's not the best writer. She had no idea, but stepdad admitted that he took them. But he said the reason he took them was so my son could have the sets to complete his collection, his being his son. My son doesn't even like Legos anymore and told his mom he wouldn't steal from me. My wife asked how much it could cost to replace them, and unfortunately it's more than their savings. Actually, it would take their house down payment plus more. I told them if they
Holy
don't pay,
shit.
I'll get into that part in a bit. I told them if they don't pay in 2 weeks, I was suing and pressing charges. The price in the sets makes it a felony. My ex and her husband are saving for a house, which would give my son more space when he's there. But those sets were going to help pay for his education someday or a home of his own. I filed the police report and have talked to a lawyer, and we're moving forward with the suit. Everyone is calling me a joke because they're just toys, but I don't get it. They're worth real money. I'm not rich, guys. I needed those to help with my son's future. But again, taking this money does deny my son things at his mom's house. Am I the asshole here? Quick edit.
No.
I have been asked to add these facts. The sets have been opened, which which takes away more than half their value, and one was already glued together, which means it's completely valueless.
Yeah,
The
worthless.
items stolen are, and I think, Mark, this will mean more than you and the rest of us, King's Castle, Milk Truck Legoland Train Carousel, and the glued one
Holy
was the Star
shit.
Wars Snow Speeder. Some of these
Oh,
are,
no.
You gotta be kidding me.
and some of them are one piece of a larger set. So if you lose one, you lose all five.
Right.
Second edit, my wife and boyfriend are the same as ex-boyfriend. I was just a bad writer. Oh, okay. Third and final edit for post. I know I haven't been here much, but I've read many of your comics and taken them to heart. Just talking about how he ended up going to the cops over it. I think that's a pretty clear one.
I want to see how this played out for him because he's not the asshole.
Yeah, he's definitely
He's
not.
not.
Not at all. Because
Agreed.
he even was like, it's not like he was sitting there like, oh, see you entering my house. I'm just going to see what you fucking do. But
Yeah,
even
he
if
gave
that's
him
what he
the
did,
option.
even if that's what he did, I don't think he's the asshole in this case. Because one, the boyfriend fucking stole from him.
Yeah.
He said, don't go in. You're not allowed in. I'll call the cops.
See, the thing for me is, if there was any, I don't think there was any question. Even if he didn't see the boyfriend on the cam and didn't tell him that, I still think the boyfriend's completely in the wrong. But the fact that he saw him and said that, and then he went in the house,
That's fucked up. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
That's beyond. That's completely unacceptable.
Her boyfriend's a felon now for stealing Legos. Reddit agrees with you guys. Reddit also says that he is not the asshole.
I want to find, of course. I want follow-ups to this. So
one of the next ones, I actually very much disagree with Reddit on. That's why I said that.
Okay,
Reddit.
cool.
All right, are you guys ready for the next one?
Yeah.
This one is, am I the asshole saying my lesbianism was a phase? So I, 19 female, started to explore my sexuality pretty late to people's standards, and only started dating when I moved out for uni at 18. University, I'm assuming they're in Europe.
Right.
I ended up getting pretty close with a girl who we'll call Jane and started dating. I told Jane that I was exploring myself, so it might not work out, and she was totally cool with that. We dated for 5 months, and I took on the label of lesbian. Turns out I'm straight. Jane and I broke up. We're still super close, and that was that. I didn't explain it all to my family, but they knew I was experimenting. Well, my sister, 17 female, came out yesterday as lesbian, and my mom brought up that I am a lesbian. I corrected her and said, actually, I was just experimenting. It was more of a phase. I'm straight. I didn't think anything of it, and we continued on with our day. It wasn't until earlier today that my mom called me down and had a go at me for saying my lesbianism was a phase, and that my sister got really upset that I was mocking her sexuality. My mom insisted that I write an apology letter to my sister and started sending me articles on how to be a better ally. I tried apologizing to my sister, but she's really milking this, in my opinion. Am I the asshole?
I'm gonna say in this instance that she's not an asshole intentionally,
Right.
but I could definitely see why her sister would be upset.
Okay. What do you guys think? Brandon, Keith?
I can't say that I don't want to say that this person was an asshole because of their own journey.
Yeah, same.
But at the same time, I feel I feel like this is just the mom kind of like, I feel like the mom's a little bit the asshole in this situation because one, she didn't listen to her other daughter to begin with like a, hey, like this was a phase, like, I was exploring, blah, blah, blah. Like people are allowed to explore and come to their own conclusions as far as their own sexuality.
Right.
Um,
It seems like a lot of people's issue, like the mom and the sister, is with her calling it a phase in the first place.
So I think that
oh,
her
so Reddit is mad at her for calling it a phase.
So, yeah, I will say that. I don't
No,
think
I
she's.
don't
I think
think
she's fine. Reddit has decreed that she's the asshole. I don't think she is.
I don't I think she could have gone about it better, but I don't think because she misspoke she's an asshole.
right.
Right.
Um
I agree with that.
My whole
I
thing is like, hey,
think
for her it was a phase.
I
So
would rather her come to the conclusion that like, hey, I explored this side and it didn't work for me. Like we only get to like we're only guaranteed one life. And if that like,
unless you're
you
Hindu.
gotta experiment, make mistakes, or, to figure out who you are as a person. So I don't think that makes her an asshole for coming to a conclusion that this is not who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
how I
a
feel
quick
too.
little snapshot into this person's life, and we don't know the conversation that followed. But sure, the other sister, who is lesbian, absolutely has absolutely is allowed to be upset with like, I feel like my sister kind of downplayed my sexuality here by saying that what she went through is a phase. And it also might say something about what the rest of the family is like, oh, well, then if your sister just admitted she's went through a phase, you're probably going through that too.
Yeah.
So that
I could see that.
takes validation away from what she's going through in her personal journey. So
A lot of people speak
if I had a response, I would say the mom was an asshole to begin with for not paying attention to her daughter originally, and she's only only an asshole in the sense that she spoke before thinking what that could have meant for her sister, but that doesn't make her like you're an asshole for doing that. It's like, you were dumb. You should have thought about it, but you were also
Sure.
speaking for yourself, not your sister.
Sure.
It seems like a lot of people are also like are just saying she's an asshole because she said, "I feel like my sister's milking this in my honest opinion."
Well,
Which I mean, that's a shitty thing to say, but if it's what
I
you actually
don't,
believe, I
but
don't think
once
that makes you an
again,
asshole.
we're being presented a snapshot of. See, this isn't like definitive like the last one that we analyzed. This
Right?
is
That's
too
why I think that's
ambiguous. There's too many blank spots. What is she doing that's milking this? Like you didn't give me any examples. You're just stating,
true.
"Oh, I
And she
think
does
she's
in
milking
the
it."
comments.
From that standpoint, yeah, if you're not going to give me any if you're not going to give
Context.
me anything, yeah, any context, yeah, you're the asshole.
Yeah, Jeff.
Oh, thanks, Mark.
But
I'm
at the
sure that's
same
what he meant.
now, but it's just
No,
What
I
about you,
feel
Kate?
where we're coming from, Brandon.
yeah.
Kate, what are you thinking? Is OP the original poster the asshole or not?
I think the like what Brandon said was that the mom is, the part like is an asshole because I mean again she was jumping to conclusion about somebody's sexuality like okay this person went through a phase you're out there experimenting to see what is your like what's your sexuality. I mean that's uh
Honestly, though,
and
think, thinking about it a little bit more, if she's saying the sister's milking it in her opinion, it sounds like her apology to her sister was real shitty.
Well, here's my thing. If I were her, I don't know if I would apologize to my sister. Because
I
the thing,
think
or if I did, my apology wouldn't be, I'm sorry I said it. My apology would be more along the lines of like, I'm sorry it came across that way.
Yeah.
But for me, it really was a phase. And I'm
I
not
think
saying
for
that
me,
yours is or anything like that. But, see,
where
that's my
I
issue.
get where you're coming from, Jeff, from your wording, but I mean, personally, my wording would be very different.
Oh,
And,
yeah, I wouldn't
and
call it a phase anyway.
yeah, in the sense, I'm like, you know what? It was a phase for me. It's not a phase for you. I am so sorry that I came off dismissive and that my verbiage wasn't proper and it seemed like I was coming off about you. I was purely talking about my
That's good.
journey.
You're a much more polite person than I would have been about that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, also, I mean, it's just one of those things that I hear so many like horror stories about how that kind of shit goes wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
And it sounds like this mom is being like legit, like trying to support her kids and whatever they're like going through. And then this, I'm assuming older sister, just cause like, did she say
Yeah,
younger
she is
sister?
older. She's 19
Okay.
and other sister's 17.
See, to me, so one's 19, one's 17. So then they're just,
The poster is 19 and the sister in question here is
all right,
17.
well then I would say the 19-year-old is just going through that insensitive young adult phase. And
Yeah.
then the 17-year-old's still in that, not that there's anything wrong with being hypersensitive. For fuck's sake, I'm almost 30 and I'm still hypersensitive to certain
And
things.
let's be
No,
honest,
not you, Brandon.
You
a
old
lot of
fuck.
the world is crazily hypersensitive nowadays,
Huh?
Our society in general has become overly hypersensitive in a lot of instances.
I don't think that we've become. I think it's more obvious because we're so connected.
Well, I saw
I
this. I
think
saw this
we've
thing on
always
the.
been.
I saw this thing
I agree with
online
Brandon. We
that
should
kind
get rid
of
of the
applies
internet.
in this. Well, yeah. So I saw this that was
No,
the
no, no,
original
no. We
post
have
I
a show
saw,
we have to promote, Jeff. What are you doing?
you fucker. The original post was people were always stupid, but now they have a means of getting it out there. I think it's a similar situation.
Oh, that's
I'm
well said.
I'm not saying that hypersensitive or people that are sensitive are stupid for being sensitive. You are absolutely entitled to be sensitive to topics that revolve or involving yourself. But
Right.
now it's just they have a much easier way of getting that sensitivity out there. Because like
So I guess my issue stems from things like, okay, so I was listening to a different podcast earlier, and they were talking about how this one person, like one of the hosts, one of his friends, worked in an office, and a person fucked up really bad. Like they did their job incorrectly in a way that cost the office thousands of dollars. And surprise, like they weren't fired, but the boss yelled at them, and they went to HR because they were yelled at and told they did their job wrong. That's too sensitive.
yeah,
Well,
I mean,
in that circumstance, they are the asshole.
I don't.
if you fuck up and you can't take being told you fucked up,
Yes, but there's being yelled at, and then there's just being like
Were they-
mercilessly, like not letting up, like crossing lines.
Were they being
I don't know.
berated?
There's
That's my
just not
question.
there's just not enough. Once again, even with that example, there's not enough context for me to
Yeah.
like make a proper judgment.
Yeah.
true. But that being said, I have one last Am I the
But
Asshole?
I also will say that even with regardless of what's going on, context is key. The
Oh,
more
it always is.
context you
key
give,
is
the
key.
better.
This is also
Brian
true.
is key.
Shut the fuck up, Mark.
All right, you guys ready for the last one?
I'm
Yes.
offended now.
This one is
Too fucking
actually,
bad. I'm HR.
guys.
We're
This
all
one,
fucking HR, you cock.
No, I thought we agreed Jazz was HR.
yeah, that was HR.
Yeah,
None
Jasmine
of us are
Sullivan.
responsible enough to be HR. So this is actually the first time I've ever commented on a Reddit on an
Ooh.
Am I the Asshole, because
Okay.
this one was just wow. All right, the title of this one: Am I the asshole for flipping out at my employees for demanding I fire my daughter? I,
Oh,
Yes.
50 female. Listen, Mark. You gotta listen to the story.
God damn it, Mark.
I, 50 female, recently inherited a business from my late husband. My daughter, 21 female, is currently taking a year off from college, so I hired her as an operations manager because I felt she needed something that gave her a sense of purpose while she explores her other interests.
oh no.
And the said interests include songwriting and fashion design. I also hope to one day pass the business on to her. Her job basically requires her to go in around 3 days a week. Around 3 days a week. Around September, she got an internship for a fashion label, so she's been doing work for my business virtually and has recently been coming in once or twice a week. Her fashion internship has her working closely with the CEO, who she admires a lot, and it pays a lot better than most internships in this field. So she's been stressed out and crankier. At home, I know she's had less patience, and her aunt jokingly calls her a Karen. As the months have gone on, I picked up that most of my employees have been pretty passive aggressive towards my daughter, and I once overheard someone saying they wished my daughter's stepsister was still worked here. My daughter is not my late husband's biological daughter. Yesterday, I came in early to see a few of my employees standing outside my office. They said they needed to talk to me and said my daughter was unpleasant and was constantly out of the loop. The janitor had said the last straw for him was last month when my daughter came in, saw her stuff in storage, and an argument ensued between her and everybody there because she forgot we had moved most of our operations to our other office space. Then one of my employees said they can't do this and didn't want my daughter around. I didn't like the tone and the self-righteousness in each of their expressions. I stood up and said they had no right to speak about my daughter this way and slandering her competence. I said I have the way they looked at my daughter and said an insult to her was an insult to me, and told them don't think they can just demand executive decisions that are mine alone. I told them that this meeting was over and they should worry about their own jobs and performance. Am I the asshole? Our company prides itself on keeping our employees employed no matter what the economy, and I don't think people can find that much in our area since our part of the state's economy has been in the toilet for years.
I'm going to say right off the bat, that is fucking classic nepotism. And yes, in this circumstance, she is absolutely the asshole.
She is definitely the asshole because she straight up made her an operations manager instead of like starting her from the very bottom. Because I'm pretty sure there have been other people there who were working for a really long time. Like, you know what, this could be my big promotion or whatever. And she just gives it straight up to her. It's like, oh, fuck
To add on to
you.
that, operations manager isn't a low-level job.
No.
So how can you do it on 3 days a week?
Well, not only that, like as Key was saying, like she may have just given it to her. Here's the thing: she might have just made the job to give her daughter a job too.
And it's so stupid. It's like, okay, you own the place. You could just hire her for something at a low. I
will say this, Mark. I don't think your point is true because she says as an operations manager, which makes me think she has multiple.
Gotcha. But here's the thing:
not necessarily, though.
Okay.
Here's my other thing is
I brought this one to us because I can't believe someone was so dumb to bring this to Reddit thinking there's a chance that they're not the asshole.
No, they're straight up the asshole for that.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he said operationals manager, I was like, yep, you're automatically the asshole. Like literally.
Hard time just accepting that some 50-year-old woman is going to Reddit asking them for advice on this.
And it's like,
guys, I'll tell you what though, if I'm one of her employees, do you know how happy I am? She just handed me a nepotism lawsuit win.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right?
Like, there's no question about
like,
that.
Okay, and I would have immediately went to a lawyer and been like, I would like my money now, please.
Yep, that is true. And she's automatically labeled as an asshole just for putting that alone and giving her daughter to that fucking position. It's like, oh, like she's 21 years old. She has that other job. If she's literally pissing off all your other employees as well, that should just automatically be like, okay, she needs to either be fired or, demoted.
Yeah.
Oh no, straight up fired. Dude, someone in the comments brought up, do you know how bad someone has to be for a janitor to go to the business owner and complain?
Yeah.
Good point. Those guys do not have job security.
Jeez, that sucks. That pisses me off.
I had to bring this one up because, like I said, guys, I was so amazed that anyone would not understand that they're the asshole here.
Like, I gotta be honest, like, as much as this person's a fucking bitch, I gotta respect the balls on her to think she's not the asshole. If you just can't get enough of the Sleepy Boys, you can check us out on all of our social medias.
We are on the Facebook,
The Twitters,
Instagrams,
OnlyFans,
and coming soon, YouTube with the Sleepy Boys.
and if you want to see more of us as ourselves, you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at aka Raxum, and on Twitch as Raxum Plays.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Condor_Brandor and at ATX Whiskey Bros and King Richard and the Gilded Veil on Instagram.
You can find me at Instagram at MasterKeyNobi, and you can also find me on Facebook as well under Keynobi Acosta, along with my Spotify page to hear my music, which I'll be doing for future intros for Sunrise with the Sleepy Boys as well, along with Brandon if he ever wants to.
If you guys want to find more of me, you can try and find me on Facebook. Good luck with that. Or you can meet me out in public as long as you're standing at least 8 feet away, because I don't think you can count to 6. Thanks.
Until next time, boys and girls.
Have a great fucking day.